You're looking at a daily chart of the Nasdaq. I'm going to go through this quickly because the Nasdaq is a secondary indicator. We judge the market by how our leading stocks are doing, and they're not doing well right now. Let me see here. We're going to just hone in on the Nasdaq because this day right here, which is March 29th, the low was 11,823. Yesterday, we undercut that low of that, essentially like another follow through day. But anyway, yeah, 11,790. So it undercut the low of this day, which was 11,823. Yesterday we undercut it, really essentially came down to its 50 and kind of bounced today. I don't really call this a bounce, just a couple of mega cap stocks was higher. It was an inside day today. Nothing to get excited about. The thing that drove it higher, you have to mention Microsoft because of this gap higher. A stock of this magnitude jumps 7.24%. That's going to move the indexes and other stocks with it too. It took NVDA with its artificial intelligence. I think they mentioned it in their conference call like 100 times. And NVIDIA was a beneficiary today, up 2.72%. And trading above its 21. And then Meta reported tonight, and it's up nicely after hours, 12%. And we had this on our watch list actually when it was coming out of here at 197. Then it ran higher, pulled back to the 21. It's going to gap again tomorrow. So anyway, I'm going to get to some of the retail stocks. Speaking of gaps, you got to go to Chipotle, the flying burrito. When a stock goes up, 13% with more than 500% above average daily volume, that cannot be ignored. So we're going to monitor this one peg power earnings gap. Just for see how it performs going forward. Another stock that it went along with it is a retail. I'm going to go through a couple of retail names here. Was a Wingstop, which was up to like 205 today, and then pulled back into the close like everything else, just pulling back. A lot of uncertainty out there with the banks, faltering, and with the the shenanigans in Washington D.C. They can't get anything done there, and the Nasdaq, the markets are they're in a trade range and they hit the top of the trade range. I guess I should go to the SPY. Gosh, right in the middle. I'm just going to go to the SPY. It just hit this trade range here at the top, and it's probably going to pull back, right? Every time it gets this little level here, it pulls back. Maybe it'll come back to this level here. Who knows? 380. It wouldn't surprise me. And then, back up again. That's probably just going to keep chopping sideways. It's just rotating, in and out. And so I'm going to get to that. I've got some other things to get to here that I want to. And ELF is one of them. ELF was down 2 days. Big 2-day sell-off. Just pulled back to its 10 EMA and bounced, slightly today. Didn't have a lot of volume with it, but just showing a little support there at the 10 EMA. Couple other stocks I want to show. LULU's been on our watch list here. It's trying to push away from its base and got dragged down yesterday, and it's just pulled back to its 10. This looks fine, especially in this tape. And ULTA, I like showing ULTA every day because ULTA is just a stock that I like, and it performs well. And it got support at the 10 EMA, and it's trending nicely. Anyway, I'm going to get to the shoes because it's all about the shoes. We got 7 billion people on this planet. And, Sky, that's a decent stock too. But, we all wear shoes. Most of us can afford shoes, and some of us have hundreds of shoes. And Skechers, we see a lot of Skechers in the wild here. This stock is setting up in the base, and it tried to, break out of its base, but just got dragged back down to its 10, which looks pretty good, considering the tape right now. And I'm going to get to that here in a minute. Deckers is another shoe stock, which is just grinding higher, pull back to its 10, found support, and it looks a little bit like ELF right there. ONON on holdings. This one had a couple buy points here. I kind of screwed this up because I went in small, and then when it broke out, I went bigger, at a higher cost basis. And so now, you want to buy big here and then add smaller, when it goes up. But I did the opposite because I'm an idiot sometimes, but that happens. Anyway, this thing made a new 52-week high today. doing nothing wrong. And these shoe stocks are going to go higher if CROX delivers a strong quarter tomorrow morning. They need about 875 million in revenue and about $2.20 in EPS. That should move the needle. Anything above that, these shoe stocks are going to catch a bid, I believe, because they're not that big. They're about 9 billion market cap. Yeah, on holdings, Deckers maybe a little more, maybe about 12. But a good report from CROX. If you don't want to play CROX, you think this is too volatile, to play earnings. You could play on holdings, because if CROX delivers a good number, this is probably going to, just like for Solar and ENPH today and Solar Edge, they went down with the, let me get back here. I digress. Let's go to ENPH anyway. So ENPH bombed with earnings, right? And it took First Solar right down with it, down to the 50, and then Solar Edge as well. So this is what I'm talking about. The pen action, stocks, they move in packs. So if CROX delivers the goods and you don't want to, take the risk of CROX, you can play it with on holdings. That's what I'm going to do, because I'm loaded to the gills with CROX. So anyway, that's enough of me. I want to get to some of the leading stocks and how they've been performing poorly. I keep repeating this, like, this is not a good environment. It was good for a while, but the last few sessions here, this is Palo Alto Networks, and I consider it to be the leader in the cybersecurity space, and this is traded below the 50, and this is a weak little bounce today. Fortinet, pretty similar. It's above its 50, so it's a little stronger than Palo Alto Networks, but not good action there for those stocks. This is SMCI, the hardware stock, pre-announced, and this thing's selling off like a waterfall. This has got a little support today here. Weak bounce, nearly 2%. That doesn't look good to me. I mentioned First Solar. Then there's Air. This is all the Can Slim people. They love this stock, and not so much anymore. This thing is just getting slaughtered here. Quick trip to the old 200 simple moving average. That's a nice waterfall. Some people like to trade waterfall trades. That's not for me, but I don't like catching falling knives. But there's a lot of them in the semiconductors group. Allegro, yeah, Air is not alone. This thing sliced its 50 and it's just heading downhill. ACLS, this is one that I got a good entry on. Didn't want to sell it, but hey, when they slice their 50, it's adios, muchachos. These are looking bad. AMD's one of the bigger ones. This one sliced its 50 and now can't get back above 2.5% rally today. And just, I'm not interested in that action. 4 is another one, leading stock, just sliced its 50. This does not look good. For a lot of these stocks, SANM, META, one of the electrical contract manufacturers, this thing's just sliding lower. This thing has a great balance sheet too. Just cannot get any love. Another one that the Can Slim Bros were digging on was IoT. This one's now sliding back to its 50. And the stock can go trade back to its 50 at any point, and it's not doing anything wrong. But you're afraid that once they slice the 21, they go down to the 50. Well, what's going to stop them from slicing the 50? You hope they get a bounce, but I don't like to trade on hope. ANET is another strong leading stock, came down to the 50. Bounced a little bit today, but this is a precarious, it did have volume, but I just do not like this action here. It's looking pretty rough. And I wish I had better news, but you got to call it like it is and tell it like it is, as Howard Cosell would say. And anyway, look forward to CROX earnings tomorrow morning. I will be back with a report tomorrow, and we never give up.